Hi everyone, Caroline from Red Dust Creations again. Today, I don't know what's going on with it. Natural light, it's a fun thing. Sometimes it works in my favour, sometimes it doesn't. This is just me touching base, I guess, regarding my green corner. The other day I said that I had noticed when I had uploaded a video about everything that's happening over here, I'd noticed that it's not really a very, like it could be a really useful space. Sorry, brain fog. But it's not necessarily at the moment because there's kind of stuff everywhere. And I love having this green corner where I can propagate my water plants and it's just green and lush, and I can forget that I had to stick something under the drawers that I'm resting my tripod on because I live in I live in a little old house, and even though we've had it re-stumped, those stumps need to be leveled. There's still some work to do on bearers and joists, so even bits are not really a thing necessarily, and I feel like we're heading back down on a slant that way. So, I did say that I also use this space to feed the animals, particularly the cats. So, well, hang on a second. Corduroy, do you want to go outside, darling? Excuse me for just a minute while I see if Corduroy wants to go outside. No, Tiny Dog says no. That's okay. We tried. Now remember, you get to save all these bits because I'm not editing my vlogs. I know that editing them is a huge big thing with YouTube channels and just YouTube in general and stuff. People edit their shorts and their videos and everything, whereas I'm not doing that. Part of it is because I want to be as authentic as possible, and the rest of it is because these rheumatic hands of mine, so rheumatoid arthritis, along with the fibro, and then the trigeminal neuralgia, which makes looking at screens not a great thing all the time. My body can't cope with it. So chronic illnesses say no to editing. So I'm rolling with it. So you'll see, yeah, the good, the bad, the end of the day, the start of the day, the middle of the day. This is me after a day of kindy. I am tired. I'm still feeling pretty crappy with my chronic sinusitis that kicked in, sort of, began showing up like 2 weeks ago, but is really making itself felt today, this week, I guess, over the weekend as well. Also had a small child accidentally knock me in the face with a football, like a really small child, like, a 2-year-old. However, it's still hit in the area that's impacted by my trigeminal neuralgia, so it's actually quite painful, but hey, life. And if I gave up every time things were painful, exhausting, I won't get anything done. So at the moment, Corduroy is staring at me. He doesn't know what I'm doing, but that's okay. He's a tiny dog. He doesn't need to know what's going on. So I did start to move a few things around the other day, but that's about as far as I got. So far I have discovered that there's absolutely nothing in. You know how I was like, I didn't even know what's in that cat litter container, which is that cream container at the back, that tin thing. There was bicarb soda in it from the last time it was used for cat litter, which was more than a year ago because I upgraded to silica cat litter because I couldn't, my hands, again, I couldn't do the scooping on a regular basis and things like that. So I had to upgrade to the really fancy fit litter in order to be able to do that. So that still had bicarb soda in it to absorb some of the odor of the cat litter bags when they used to sit in there for a few days. And that's not there anymore. So I cleaned it out, emptied it out. I think I'll put the excess cat food in there maybe. But I've tucked it back into the corner. At the moment, I've got rubbish bags that we use for the kitty litter and tiny puppy food at the moment, which is for his tininess. So, Totoro, come here, buddy. For this thing, hello, say hello. For his tininess, when he occasionally wants wet food. But to be honest, he'd rather just eat his sister's wet food. So, that's the way it is. Ah! No, thank you, sir. He's really excited but confused and... Okay, rightio. Okay. Right, so we are a needy baby. today, which means we just need hugs from Mummy, so that's alright. He's also not sure what's happening next door. He can hear things. And he wants to know what the things are, but he doesn't want to go outside on his own to do it. So until he does want to go outside on his own, he's going to miss out. So I've moved that into the back corner. I was about to say the orange container, except you cannot see the orange container. If you want to hop down, darling. The orange container that you can see is supplements for the cats, so you can't really see it. Now you can see it? Yeah, that's rosehip oil. Rosehip Vital. It's a supplement, so a powder that goes on the cat's wet food. This beautiful bunch of syngonium and pothos, this lovely blue. I do love the vase that it's in. It's gorgeous. And look at all those roots. I really need to take it out and give it a trim. These probably need to be, well, not probably, they do need to be trimmed a bit. There's quite a few air roots hanging around and things like that, and a lot of nodes, so I could get some extra plants out of that one. Do have some rubbish which will need to go into the bin later, so I'll just put that behind there so it's not on the floor for the tiny dog to eat. Did notice that, so if I go up here behind, see, this is the problem with object permanence. If I can't see it, I don't realise that it needs something doing to it, and this poor plant is, as you can see, is quite low in water. So well done, Mr. Monstera and Pothos. It's trying to germinate, root in said vase, jar, container. So I'll just pop some water in there, top it up. Sorry, didn't mean to make you sad. And I think that was already a propagation cutting from before, but now water, happy. But if I take that down, okay, there is something down the back there that has nothing to do with plants. And that would be a spare doorknob for my old front door. Well, for my current front door, but it's a very old front door, because this is one of the original houses where I live, in the town where I live. So, bought a sparesy in case I needed it. As you can see, it's quite large. Size of my head, almost. But yeah, it doesn't need to live there, so it will need to find a new home. So I will just temporarily relocate it during this process. Alright, so now up the top there, it is just plantness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my support pellets, alright, from We the Wild, and I'm just going to close that up because it doesn't need to be exposed to the elements at all. Corduroy, you're not eating sorry darling, not cat food, it's plant food. It's not for you either. He thinks that anything that could possibly be food is for him is plant food, buddy. So I'm going to put that, the liquid fertilizer down the back, the grow, and I'll put the support pellets at the front. They're both on the side there, so they're against the wall, so they can't hide any plants, whereas before they were in a position to block plants, and that's where that difficulty with object permanence comes in. I can't see it until, and then when I see it, I panic, because obviously it needs some love. Okay, so this is a one that I had rooted a bunch of stuff in there. Again, you can see that there's a heap of roots in the bottom here. It's rooted beautifully, however, obviously it's running low on water because it was hidden by things a little bit too. So I do need to add some water, and then I might have to separate out some of those. There's multiple plants in there, I'm pretty certain, but I need to double check on it. So that's more of that's a when I have more time deal, whereas for today I'm just going to top up the water to make sure that they're all fine, and then pop it back up on the shelf because I know it's okay. Because we're just doing a tidy, I'm trying really hard not to get distracted by the plants. So that one can go there. This one was, so this leaf here was from my philodendron ring of fire, as was this one. This one seems to have broken. I don't know if it was already broken or it's just given up on life and is now broken. Sitting in there as well is a pothos cutting, which has also rooted. It's not one of the ones we looked at the other night, but it's in there. There's also an aloe vera plant that was a small plant that I rescued from out the back when my neighbour gave me a bunch of them, and I popped them in the dog's pond for a while, but I didn't keep an eye on the water and it got all gross, and because I have horses in the paddock behind me, lots of fly larvae and stuff like that. Didn't even know that they could be, like, that's a thing in water. But they're like, they were called, I looked them up, there was some googly involved, rat-tailed maggots. Just, you know, in case you needed to know that. Right, so I'm just going to leave it until it drops that leaf. But I'm just going to pop that down the back there because it's doing okay at the moment. This one is another one that's been doing okay on and off. This one was inherited from a friend and she's got some water bees in there, but they've been in there for ages, so I actually do need to, on my list of things to do, will be actually emptying that out and getting rid of the water beads. I did that in another one of her plants and it seems happier without the water beads because they've probably got a fair bit of yuckiness in them because they've been hanging in there for a while, I think. I don't really know if that's how it works, but yeah. And again, this is a couple in there. It's got a fair amount of roots in there. So I probably need to give that a bit of a check to make sure, like, so when I go through it all, I'll check it and make sure it's doing the best that it can. Okay. So that's going down the back because it's a taller one. I'm just ordering them by height so I can see them. Oh, there we go. I put it back and that leaf fell off. The broken leaf, the dead leaf. Okay. That one can go back in there too. So they've got enough space but not too much space. This one here is a, it's not a syngonium, it's a, no, I don't remember what these ones are. Either way, it has these leaves and it's super happy. Needs some more water, but I reckon that I could separate that into maybe 2 plants maybe. So that will be on a list of things to do. So obviously now I'm going to have a propagation / gardening weekend coming up. And of course I just got that all wet around the outside. Thankfully there is a dog towel here. And I'll pop that in there. I'm trying to keep this video under 15 minutes because I keep expecting you guys to care about my life enough in such a short period of time that you're going to be like, yep, you know what? I'm going to go and body double in my garden at the same time as Caroline does her hecticness. Okay, so this one's doing well. Maybe it is a syngonium. I don't know. But that was another one from the same plant. This one has aloe vera in it and it just needs to, the aloe vera plant's fine, but I think it needs to go outside. So this is another of the ones we looked at the other night. So I'm just going to pop that in the middle there. Oh, this is another one from that same, another baby from that same plant. But I was like, I don't know what that is. So, yep, again, tucked towards the back. And because it's got a wider neck, the water, obviously in the heat in this space, evaporates more quickly. So, pop that up. We'll pop that back in. Down the back, spin you right round like a record, baby. Right round, round, round. Oh, yes. Some more aloe vera plants, so they don't need to be here. They're outdoor plants. Well, they will be outdoor plants. So they don't need to be here. I'm keeping this just as my air plant. Not air plants, water plants. This is another one that I inherited from a friend. I put in so there was already the Monstera in there, and the Lucky Bamboo, same friend I inherited this from, and I popped in a pothos cutting. It has got a tiny little rootlet in it, but it's low in water, so I need to make sure it gets a bit more water in it now, so while it's continuing to put out its roots, and that will help support it to grow and provide support also to yellow plants that are in there, so the Monstera and the Lucky Bamboo. That was the other one that had all of the water beads in it. Alright, so these ones are cuttings, they're doing okay, water up to where they need to be for now. Pop them in here. More cuttings. This was quite a small vessel. This one, as you can see, it's only about that yay big. So I'm going to, so it obviously drops down water level quite quickly too. So I'm going to pop some water in that one and pop it up on the shelf. Okay, yep, that one's fine. I checked on that one the other day actually. That's just because it's so beautiful. This one's fine. It's got a really narrow neck because it's a vase. Oh, sorry, it's a bottle. Jug is the word. Jug. This one's cuttings as well, that really small container, same as the other one, which is great when they're rooting, but I just need to make sure it's topped up so that they continue to have the water that they need. So that's got a pothos and that plant that is maybe a prayer plant of some kind, but I'm not sure. And then I still have all of my plants that I need to propagate, etc. But now I have all of my current water plants. They're all up there now. So they're all on the top shelf, as is their food and nutrients. And that's where I'm going to leave you for today, guys. If you want to see more of this, unhinged, you know, chronic brain fog, executive dysfunction, just trying to live my life, or live a life with all of these conditions. If you need some double body doubling time, use it for that. Please like and subscribe. It would be nice to build a community of people who are in the same kind of boat or have the same kind of interests. I haven't managed to keep it under 15, and I haven't quite managed to keep it under 16 either, but it's definitely under 17. So it's not the longest one I managed to do, but this is, you know, so this is step 2. This is the start part that we wanted to do. There's more to go, obviously, but that's going to require a lot more time because I'm going to have to do some propagation. Okay, I'll take you along for some of that journey, but not in this video. So please like and subscribe. My name's Caroline. Yeah, see ya.